In this video, we'll be talking about Redis PubSub and also how we can use that to create microservices in Node.js. We have actually seen how we build microservices using RabbitMQ, but this is actually going to be very similar to that, but we are going to do this with Redis. So before even going into the implementation, it's good to know the how the the PubSub model works. So usually it goes like this, where there is one publisher. Publish in the sense he is the one who publishes the events to the subscribers, and the subscribers will be consuming the events from the publisher. So for example, if this publisher one subscribes, let's say create event, then that event will be sent to all people who are subscribed to this publisher. So in this case, subscriber 123 receives this event. So for example, let's say 3 has unsubscribed from this event. So the next time the publisher publishes some event, only 1 and 2 are going to receive the event. So it's going to be very basic, and it's just to show how Redis can be implemented to create microservices, right? So yeah, let's go into the implementation. In this application, we are going to be having two services, which is order service and payment service. What this order service does is that it takes orders, and then it creates an order after sending an event to payment service to detect the amount required from the wallet. If the wallet does not have the required amount, then it sends back another event saying the wallet is not sufficient, the money is not sufficient. And if all goes well, then it again returns back a successful event to the order service, and the order service returns back the order received to the client. So that's what this application is going to be about. It's pretty small application, but it will show you how this Redis works and how services work. We're going to create two folders. The first one is going to be order service, and the second is going to be the payment service. Oops, it's a new folder. So we have two folders here. So inside this first folder, let's go inside this. Let's do cd order service, and let's do npm init -y. And now we need some few basic libraries, which is express, and we need body parser, and also we need the library which I said is node redis PubSub. So you could usually do this with Redis itself, but it's quite, you could say, complex. So that's why this wrapper, it makes things easier for us when we are handling events. When we are handling events. So inside payment service, let's open another terminal here. Let's go into payment service, and here let's do another npm init -y, and then let's do the same thing, npm express. So this time we don't need the body parser, because the order service is the only route we are going to have, and it's only going to interact with payment service via these events. So we don't need this body parser. And the difference between RabbitMQ and Redis is that RabbitMQ is kind of a queue kind of thing, where you put things into queue, and it's like an where you put things into the queue, and the service consumes from that queue. So it's kind of a queue kind of thing. So Redis is not a queue, but it's publisher subscriber model. So there are differences between these two. I'll make a video on that someday. But for now, I think let's go with PubSub model, because Redis follows that. So payment service has been installed, and I think both of them are done. So let's go into order service and create an index.js. So let's start by creating the basic boilerplate for Express. So let's say Express requires Express, and app is going to be an instance of Express. And this port is going to, this app is going to run at port 4444, and app.listen at this port. So at this port, and yeah, this is going to be it. So let's initialize the Redis here. So let's say nrp, which stands for node Redis PubSub, is equals to require node Redis PubSub, and we need to create a config. We need to initialize this by creating a new config file. It just takes two parameters. One is the port. So this port is on which the Redis is running. So Redis usually runs at port 6379, and the scope is going to be something it's your wish. It's like a random string. So let's say microservice, and now we can send and receive events. So before that, we need to create a root, and also we need to initialize body parser. So let's initialize body parser. So let me just paste it. So app.use body parser.json, it just initializes the body parser. So now we can create root. Let's create a post root. Let's say /order, and request and response comes in. So let me just destructure this order by saying order is equals to requested body, so that I get the order object, and we can use that to send this to the payment service. So usually order must contain the name of the food. Let's keep things simple, which is going to be a string, and it's going to have price of that. Or maybe we could create an object here. Let's say food is equals to, we are going to create an object and map them with their price. We could have food like, let's say, burger, which is going to be 150 rupees, or chicken, which is going to be 100, let's say 120, and egg is going to be 50 rupees. And let's add another one, let's say rice is going to be 1000 rupees. So this is a food object. So the order contains the name, price is here, right? And it also contains a quantity which is of type integer. So these are two things that this order should have actually. So we can just check that by saying if not order.name or not order.quantity, then just return let's say 404. Let's send a message saying order name or quantity missing. So these are just basic verifications. So if it has both order name and order.quantity, then what we'll do is we will send an event. We'll create an event and we'll send that to the payment service. So let me open another tab here. I'll just go back into payment service and create an index.js, or let me just copy this actually. Let me copy this index.js to payment service index.js, and let me just remove this object. So first let's send an event to payment service. So we have this nrp, right? This thing, we can use that object or variable to send events. So you could just say nrp.emit and name of the event. So this time it's going to be new order, right? So before even sending the event to the payment service, we need to create an order receipt. So let's create a receipt here. So that receipt is going to have name, which is order.name, and quantity, which is going to be order.quantity, and total price, which is going to be usually the order.quantity into multiplied by the price of that order. So it's going to be food of that name or order.name. So that's the receipt. So now what we'll do is we have created the receipt, and now we need to send an event to the payment service saying that an order has been created. So we could use that NRP variable to emit an event. We could just say emit, and let's say new order, and with that we have we can give the data which we want to give. So we can just send the receipt here. Okay, so let me save that. And here in the payment service, what we need is we can just do nrp.on. On what on takes a parameter which is a event name. So in this case it's new order, and what we get back is the data. So let's console.log the data first, if it's working or not, and just ls.end. Let's just ls.end. So let me open Postman here to test this API. So let's try to send this and see if we are getting this data back. Actually we haven't started the server, so let's start that server. Let's do nodemon. I have nodemon globally installed, so you could do that too. And let me start my payment service too, and let's run this. Actually forgot to change the port number here, so two applications can't run in the same port. So let's do it 5555, and let's go into payment service and do nodemon. And now we can send this request to see if things work. So we have order name or quantity missing, so I think this must be name, not food. So if you see in the payment service, we are getting an object here, which is what we received from the order service. So you have the name, quantity, and the total price, which is 2000, because the cost of price of rice is, we have put 1000 here. We have put 1000 here, so it's going to be 2 into 1000, which is 2000, and it works. So now we could say, let's say you have a database and you have to check, the user has some wallet money. So let's take a wallet variable, and let's say we have 3000 in this wallet. And now what we need to do is we need to take, let's destructure name, quantity, and the total price from this data, because we have this name, quantity, and total price in this data object. So we can just take that out. And now we need to check if the total price is less than or equals to the wallet, because we can't spend more than what we have, right? So if it is less than or equals to wallet, then we'll proceed. Else we are going to generate, or you can say we are going to create another event. Let's say nrp.emit order error, which stands for order error, and the data is going to be error, which will be saying wallet not sufficient, which says let's say low on money, or you can say low on wallet money. So this will emit an event, and let's go to the order service to handle that. So here we have, inside this route we have another event, let's say on. This would be order error, and the data, or you can say the error, would be coming back. And what we can do is we can just return rest.json of this error, so that we can return that to the client. We could do that. So let's see if that works. We have saved. So let's go and create 3 this time, or we can say let's create 5. We have 3000 on our wallet, so let's create that. And this time we are not getting an error. We are not being returned an error, because we are returning this rest.end at the end of this route. So we have two conditions here. We have two possibilities. One is we get an error or we don't get an error. Actually, another possibility is that the payment service goes down. I think that must be handled separately. But in this case, there's either a success or a failure. So let's handle the failure first. So if we have an error, let's just remove that rest.end and just put this order or error. So I have removed the rest.end, which was at this end of this. So I removed that, and let's see if that works now. So you could see that we're getting low on wallet money right now, and that works. So now we have handled this condition. So there are two conditions. So what happens if all goes well? Then what we'll do is we'll detect this money from total price or the wallet. We'll update the wallet's amount, and then we'll emit a new event which says, let's say, order success, or let's say SES, and the message is going to be order placed, and the receipt, we have the receipt, right? So either way, we have the receipt. So let's just send the message, and we send the message here. So here we have to receive that message. So we listen to that message here, or we listen to that event, which is order underscore SES, and comes the message. So we have this. So I think we can also send the amount of money left in your wallet. You could do that. You could say amount wallet, or you could say amount remaining in wallet, which is going to be wallet. This we are going to send this variable. So we get the message here. So now what we'll do is let's change this const to let, so that we can add another key to that. So let's say receipt of, let's say, amount remaining in wallet is going to be message dot amount remaining in wallet. And after this, let's just send another JSON giving the receipt back. And also I think we can give the message back as well. So let's give the message. Message is going to be message dot message, and the receipt. So we do that because the reason we are doing message dot message is that this message contains this message object, right? This one. So we do that, and here we just set that receipt or key to this thing, the amount remaining in wallet. So I think if it becomes more clearer when you run this. So let's run this. So it still says low on wallet money. I think, okay, we have to change the quantity here. So let's change that to 2. And let's send that again. So I have incremented this wallet money to 30,000, so that let's see the change in the wallet money. So I'll just casually increase this to 30,000 so that to see what really happens. So let's send this. So we're getting an order placed message, and also we're getting a receipt, and the amount remaining in wallet is being 28,000 because the price of 2 rice is so and so. So yeah, that's what I wanted to create actually. I know this is very simple, but I think this will pave a path to many bigger applications or bigger microservices you want to build. There are much more better practices to follow. I think we could start from here, right? So I think this could be a very nice starting point. So if you could follow that, I think you would know what the best practices are. I'll make another video on how to handle failures on microservice. I'm really thinking to do that. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show. So thank you for watching, and do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.